What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Hybrid Network. So if you've been following this channel, chances are you've seen what I thought about the new Dark Tower movie. If you haven't, I'll save you about 5 minutes. I didn't like it. But despite that, you know what I do like? Easter eggs. And thankfully this movie is chocked full of them, referencing the vast Stephen King multiverse that the Dark Tower has come to represent. There's quite a few and some go by pretty quick, so if I missed one or two, let me know down in the comments below. With that out of the way, let's get started. Cujo. So despite the fact that I didn't catch a glimpse of him in the movie, Cujo is in fact in this film, and Mr. King's integrity has been restored. How could I ever have doubted him? Anyway, it's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but if you're paying close attention, you'll be able to catch a Saint Bernard being walked down the streets by a mother and her child, looking a lot like Donna and Tad Trenton in the 1983 film. Pretty cool, although kind of weird when you stop to consider that Cujo isn't actually their dog. It's an Easter egg, so I'll let it slide just this once, Arcel. Overlook Hotel. This one has been spoiled for a while, but it's still a fun one, and there's the possibility that some people haven't even seen it yet. In some of the early trailers for the film, we got a glimpse of a few Easter eggs that would be showing up, one of which appears while Jake Chambers is in the office of his psychiatrist. As the room begins to shake from violent tremors, viewers can catch a quick glimpse at the Overlook Hotel in a picture frame on the good old doctor's desk. Sadly, there's no bottle of red rum in the desk drawer, but hey, I'm good with what we've got. Shining twins. Okay, this one I'm not entirely too sure about. I've thought the same thing when I saw the movie, but it seemed like a stretch at the time. But everyone else seems to think that these two sisters that appear at the beginning of the movie are a sort of homage to the Grady twins from Stanley Kubrick's Shining. So who am I to judge? The Shine. Keeping the Shining train going, there's another reference that actually has a semblance of plot value. You see, in the book series, Jake Chambers does have a form of psychic ability, though there it's called the Touch, allowing him to read minds and to touch others' thoughts. In the movie, though, they call it something familiar, the Shine. Pretty tongue-in-cheek, though the reference makes sense for the most part, since Shining really isn't all that different from the Touch in the grand scheme of things, and it probably is a lot easier to simply reference another power that audiences would be familiar with. Though a part of me really wishes they had just called it the Shinin, just to save themselves a potential lawsuit. Christine. This one is pretty easy to spot, and it's not even that far within the movie. In the film, when Jake invites one of his friends into his room to hang out, the boy is seen playing with a 1958 Plymouth Fury. Now, even if you're not a Stephen King aficionado, which I wish I was, you'll no doubt be able to note that this model is the same make as the killer car from one of Stephen King's weirder novels, Christine. Rita Hayworth poster. This one actually got a laugh from me in the theater. I'm just happy I was able to pick it out. During one of the confrontations Roland has in New York, fans will note a certain pinup actress on the wall behind the gunslinger. This is in fact a poster of Rita Hayworth, and while that would be reward enough, the poster is actually a reference to the Shawshank Redemption. Whereas in the original novella, Andy Dufresne asked for numerous posters from Red over the years to cover his secret project, one of which is Rita Hayworth. She's actually referred to in the original title for the story, Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. Now, I doubt there's a tunnel on the other side of that poster, but hey, the sentiment's still nice. Kurt Barlow and Straker. This one is actually really cool because it has a lot of importance within the Dark Tower world in general. In one of the scenes of the movie, Roland Deschain is aiming down his sights at an unseen enemy, but behind him lies a sneaky reference for eagle-eyed viewers. There's a sign that reads Barlow and Strakers, and this is a clear reference to Salem's Lot, as it refers to the main antagonist, Kurt Barlow, and his servant, Richard Straker. Why this is cool is because Father Callahan, whom first appeared in Salem's Lot, is a big part of the Dark Tower, and a lot of his past woes and demons come from his experiences in this book. 1408. This one can go by pretty fast if you're not paying attention, but it's a nice little treat for Stephen King fans. As Roland and Jake are about to return to Keystone Earth, one of the Mani tell Jake to remember the number correspondent with the portal he's about to travel through. The number, 1408, is the same as a haunted hotel room in one of Stephen King's short stories, in which a supernatural nonfiction writer spends the night only to succumb to horrible hallucinations and visions. Luckily, the portal doesn't share the same effect on Jake. Misery's Child. This one I like a lot, more so because I like the idea of the actual book appearing as opposed to just a passing reference. So in the movie, while Jake goes through his personal belongings, we see a copy of Paul Sheldon's Misery's Child, the novel in which the author kills off his main character Misery, much to the chagrin of Annie Wilkes, Paul's #1 fan. In fact, she's so upset that she ends up holding the writer hostage and forcing him to rewrite the novel, relieving him of a few of his appendages when he displeases her. Mercedes Killer's smiley face. So this is another one that I wasn't too sure about, but I guess I do have to kind of give credit since it's an iconic image from one of Stephen King's novels, Mr. Mercedes. When Roland arrives at Jake's apartment, the two are left a little gift by the Man in Black, as a bloody smiley face is left on the wall. In the book, the calling card of the Mercedes killer is in fact a smiley face, making the comparisons all the more apt. The Pennywise Carnival. This is no doubt one that you've already seen, but the movie really goes out of its way to showcase it, so we're gonna talk about it. As Roland and Jake make their way through a dark wood, the boy comes across a rundown theme park with a familiar and chilling name attached. Pennywise the Dancing Clown, the same child-feasting entity present in Stephen King's It, and who was getting a shot at the big screen in September. Hopefully he was a lot more cordial to his guests on Midworld, though I kinda doubt it. Merlin's Rainbow. Okay, so I didn't really consider this an Easter egg at first because this item is such a prevalent thing within the book series, but no one really makes any mention of it within context of the film, so I might as well point it out. In the movie, the Man in Black has access to an assortment of multicolored balls, primarily using a black one, shocker, in order to spy and communicate with Roland Deschain. These orbs are actually a pretty big deal within the Dark Tower universe, as they were created by the demonic wizard Merlin in order to sow discord and mayhem throughout the universe. There's 13 in total, each with their own monstrous power, though the one Walter uses in the film is notably the most powerful of all, Black 13. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you all for tuning in, and let me know if there's any other Easter eggs that I've left out down in the comments below. Make sure you stick with the Hybrid Network for more discussions and updates on the Dark Tower and Stephen King universe. This is Luke, signing out.